Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cooking with Gina. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Gina Virginia Casella. I'd love for you to join my Facebook group, Dragon Dreams. And don't forget to pick up a copy of one of my books from the Dragon Dream series on Amazon.ca. So I'm feeling pressed for time today. It's nice and beautiful outside. It's one of those days where the sun just feels nice and warm and you're soaking it up. And then I'm like, I'm getting stuck into timelessness. So today I'm making a soup. Those of you who are new to Cooking with Gina, it's like camping. I just use what I have. Folks I live with, we're going to be doing special Christmas groceries. And like a lot of people, we're trying to find balance with keeping things fresh and getting things now and getting things later. So I'm working with limited ingredients and I'm out of onions. Somebody here really wants soup. So I thought, well, we'll go with the lentils again and I'll add some vegetable broth. So my master plan is, at least in this moment, is to use the green lentils for a change. And I checked the directions. So you boil it for a good 5 minutes and then you let it simmer. Once this is simmering, then I'm going to make a nice pot here. Once this is simmering, I'm going to add my tomato sauce to it and really thin it out. I don't want a thick soup. I'm not sure in this moment if I'm going to roast veggies. I don't know. I just feeling the urgency. I'm going to get water in this pot, rinse it, and get this boiling. So I'll be right back. All right, so I got my lentils on, the lid, I can't find it, whatever. And I've got it on high to bring it to a boil. And I'm getting more familiar with this element with the oven. You see the red here. There's, if you turn it to the left, you can access the inner circle. If I turn it to the right, then I access the circle that comes right out to here. So I can use a wider, bigger pot if I want to. I'm wondering, what does your stove look like? And this one here has 5 elements on it, which sometimes comes in handy, but I think overall I really do appreciate the old school that has like the coiled rings, too small, too large, and that's all you get. And it works for me. So anyways, I'm going to rinse my vegetables and I shall return. I forgot to mention I'm using Surrey brand. I'm not being endorsed by these companies, just sharing what I'm using, and I want to know, what are you using? I'm feeling a lot better that now the lentils are cooking. I find they take longer. I'm new to cooking lentils. I'm new to the vegan cuisine. I'm going to be tossing these into the soup. So I'm just going to chop them up now. I thought about roasting them, but I don't know. Should I roast them? I thought it might be nice because it might help flavor the soup. What are you thinking? So I'm just cutting these, cutting the bottom off. Big ones like this, I could cut it again, but it should be okay. What ends up happening is that it starts to like unravel. I don't know, part of me wants to toss some of these into the soup, and some part of me wants to like roast it as well. Feeling a little bit torn. Okay. Okay, those are garbage. Things got a bit mixed up here. Another one. So I think what I'm going to do is put this back here just for a moment here. Oops. I think I'm intentionally just whatever naturally wants to come off, comes off. I'm getting them mixed up now. That way I can roast these, and then the little pieces that are coming off here, I can flavor my sauce with that. And then it'll just be a little addition to the soup. And if folks want to add theirs into their bowl, the ones that are roasted, they can. And if they don't want to, well, they don't have to. Okay. All right. So these pieces here, I'm going to keep. So when my lentils need, like when I reduce it to simmer, I've got this to add into it. I'm also going to chop up these scallions, and I'm going to add these in as well. It's not my preference to add scallions to soups. I like to add scallions to soup when, like as a topping. Maybe that's what I should do with these scallions, is have it as a topping, not as an ingredient to flavor the sauce. But I just feel like my sauce might be lacking. So why don't I keep these 3 white pieces and add that to my sauce right now. I said my sauce, but I meant to say my my soup. So these are going to be toppings for when like the soup is being served, and these onions are going to go right inside. Not right now. My thoughts are a bit scattered there. But they're going to go inside that last 15 minutes just to help flavor things. Okay. This broccoli that I have, I don't know, it's kind of soft. Looks good on the inside. Yeah, so it's gone bad. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, but there's a little thick on there. So you know what? I used to have a really hard time throwing food out. Sometimes I feel disposable, but I've learned my lessons over the years, and I've worked with a lot of clients actually who struggle with hoarding because they come from families where there was no such thing as throwing anything in the garbage or recycling for that matter, because they just didn't, have anything. And they, kids don't know any different, right? And when you get older, you start making connections. But at a very early age, children in those kind of situations, their parents or whoever their primary caregivers are will take them to places, like Auntie's for dinner or to the church so that they can get a meal. And the problem is that the child isn't hungry, but the parent doesn't tell this to the child, but it's like they don't know when there's going to be food next. So given the opportunity to eat the meal, the children are given like huge, like adult portions to eat. Um, and they're pretty much forced to eat every single last bite. Doesn't matter if they don't like it, if it's too sweet or too salty. The only exception is if they're allergic to it. That's like it. And so these kids, they get confused because they're basically forced to eat when they're not hungry, and then when they are hungry, there's no food. And so, anyways, it's really heartbreaking. But the point in connection was that these children grow up to be adults, and then they literally have food that is beyond the expiry date. They have boxes of cereal with insects inside the boxes because that's how old the cereal is, and they won't throw them out. They're sitting in their cupboards, and seemingly their cupboards and fridge look really full, but it's all like expired items. And like I said, sometimes more than often there's actually like live insects. It's gotten to that point, and they just won't throw it out. Because what if? It's kind of like, I think we're all guilty of the banana bread situation. Like, we tell ourselves, oh, I'll make banana bread, and then we don't. And then, I mean, how rotten do those bananas have to be before we throw them out, or at least put them in the freezer to make banana bread? It's like that, you know. They're just clinging to that hope that, well, tomorrow they'll make it a point to like cut away all the molded parts. And even if it's molded and completely rotted and beyond, like, it's not healthy to eat anymore, it's not good to eat anymore, it makes folks who struggle with hoarding, it makes them feel good just to know that there's food in the fridge, even if it's rotting and going bad. That's a big check off list, because what's familiar, the mind perceives as safe. So anyways, my family, we had our struggles growing up, but I never had to worry about that. My parents, their families were struggling a lot more than mine. So I think, anyways, back to cooking with Gina. Just looking at the broccoli, and I think it's okay. I think I'm going to roast it. And the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts, they're about the same thickness. So given the situation with the last broccoli, I'm not even going to check that one. I used to like be addicted to broccoli. I would even put broccoli on my nachos, and I would put like a big broccoli thing inside my spaghetti sauce. And then what I would do is I would like serve the spaghetti, and then I would put like a big thing of broccoli on top. I just loved how it looked, and I loved how it tasted. And I love, broccoli with butter and salt, pepper, and I love it when it's mixed with cauliflower. And one day I just got tired of eating broccoli. A long time ago, like when I was a kid, broccoli like this, that's green on the top and then yellow white in the middle, I would have thrown that out back in the 80s. But now it's 2024, almost 25, and with our food and how things have changed and evolved, it's like we consider this good broccoli, like we consider strawberries that we spray with red insects made from insects that are on the red side to color the dye, to make a dye, and we spray strawberries with it to make them red. Like back in the 80s, a white strawberry, we would have thrown that out. We just would have considered that not natural, unnatural, not good for us, bioengineered food, But now we're like, oh, a strawberry that's sprayed red with insect dye, that's white on the inside. Well, if it looks good, I guess it's good. Like that's our attitude, if you will. So I feel like this has been boiling for a good 5 minutes. I didn't actually time it, but I feel like it needs to boil a bit more. So I'm going to let it do that. What I'm going to do is I've also got this here. I've bought these peas in the past and just tossed them in with stir fries. But I've seen in restaurants they bake them. So I've never done that before. So I want to do that because I feel like these are going to go bad. So yeah, let me just transition and I'll be right back. Okay, so space is a bit of an issue. So I'm going to just take some olive oil here, put it on these vegetables, maybe a little bit more. I forgot that I have a phone date at 3. So I'm just going to put pepper on here. Some salt. Toss it up. And just plop it right here. Okay, and then these, I think I'm just going to give my bowl a very quick rinse. Everything's going to get mixed up anyways. I've got these. Whoops. And I don't know. You know what, eh? These won't take long to cook, and I think I'm going to have to get another baking tray out. All right. So my lentils, I still feel like they need to be boiled a bit longer, so I'm going to let them be before I reduce it. I've got my peas in here, adding some, whatever this is called, olive oil. And I'm not going to add pepper, but I'm just going to add salt. And I don't know, I think I was avoiding pepper because at the restaurants, they didn't put any on, but I'm going to put pepper on. I like the salt and pepper combination. There's a couple in here that got away. Good, because I need the space. So I'm just going to toss these. Okay, now I'm going to just spread them out on here. And at the restaurants, I didn't know any different, and I was eating the whole thing. And then I saw these other people, and they were just like being all like sexy and kind of sucking on it and eating the peas and not eating the rest of the green, just eating the peas. And so I'm wondering, how do you eat these? Do you act all sexy and just eat the peas in there too, or I don't know. Okay, so this is ready to go in the oven. And finally, there's one more thing. I have a little bit of leftover lentil soup from yesterday, and I want to make a biscuit patty with it just for like experiment's sake. All right, so I've got leftover lentil soup from yesterday. And you know, portions like that, they're not very big, but it makes for just a nice breakfast, if you will, or a lunch. Yesterday in my soup, I had celery sticks in here and onion. You can watch yesterday's Cooking with Gina to see how I made it. But I just wanted to point out that before I add any biscuit, there's nothing in here. Whoop. And it's already mush, so I'm just trying to find a balance here with folding it in. And something else I thought what might be cool to do is to slice up this tomato And I was going to do like I was going to strategically put like a tomato on top of the biscuit. And I wanted to also like slice this, but I think just given the grocery situation, I've got more than enough for my soup. And we got lots of snow. And for what it's worth, you know what? Weather like this, we don't want to be out and about. So I'm willing to just save that tomato for tomorrow. So I'm wondering if you have random moments like that where you were going to use something and then you didn't. Let me know in the comments. Love to hear. So now I'm going to be adding my vegetables to my soup. So I've got just pieces of green here from the Brussels sprouts. And I've got my onion. And then I've got broccoli that I don't want to go in there. Okay. Oh, you can't see. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my tomatoes. These are just strained tomatoes, Molisana. And then I thought I found this box downstairs, vegetable broth. This is President's Choice, Organics Biological. All right. And for me, this is totally cheating because I never, ever, ever use these boxes. Never, ever in my life. This is just what's handy and available to me. So I feel a little bit spoiled. It's nice to have that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bring my soup back up to a boil just for the sake of the tomatoes and the vegetable juice being brought up to a boil. And then the rest is basically, it's just going to simmer for like 15-20 minutes. And I gotta get this other stuff in the oven. So I like to clean as I go. That's going to be on hold for today. Just because those precious few minutes, I need them. Whoops. So I don't know if I said this, but happy first official day of winter. It's very dark outside, but this is the time of year where it's actually going to get lighter. So, okay, I've got, no, it's still a bit wet. Whoa. I wasn't adding enough flour. Now I might have just added too much. You know, when you work with flour, there's a little bit of a chemical reaction going on. So if you just give it a chance, it'll change like its texture and form. So just hang in there. Okay, so, oops, I forgot to turn that back up. And it still feels wet. So to be fair, this was very wet. I mean, it was a lentil soup. I just didn't think I'd have to add so much biscuit to it. And that's okay. Just wasn't sure. I personally, I'm new to Biscuit. I've been using it for a couple months now, something like that. And I like how the Biscuit rises. Like it's just usually I make everything from scratch. Like I got the flour and whatnot, but this year it just seems to come together nicely. Okay. So I'm going to put this here. Get some extra oil on this side. And I think I'm just going to make little patties. This looks good here. Yeah, see, it could still use some Biscuit. It's oh man. Okay. Let's see here. It's got lentils on my Kirkland brand. Okay, so this was an experiment. So in future, if I'm making patties with some leftover lentil soup, then I know now that it's going to need a lot of extra flour. Otherwise, it's going to stick. And, you know, I'm just thinking I have some vegan cheese in the fridge. So I think what I'm going to do is, you see, because today I don't have time, I'm getting ideas. I'm going to put some vegan cheese in the middle. I think that's going to be good. Okay, well, this was an experiment. Okay, so now what I want to do is just work it a little bit here. Okay, I'm not going to pause it. Just bear with me. I'm going to just rinse my hands off quickly here. This is taking a long time to boil here. Smells good. Smells tomatoey. So this is Black Diamond. Oh, this is not the vegan one. I was going to say, oh, good, a new vegan cheese. This is, sorry, folks. This is Daya. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Oh, it won't open. There we go. Okay. Those are going to go right on top. Just kind of squash it in. These soy sticks, and I like that. They're not advertising it as cheese, but they're advertising it as soy sticks. So I like that. Okay. Now I'm just going to blob, give each one a blob. And then now I'm going to spread the blob. I feel like I needed just a little teeny weeny bit more of the biscuit. Okay, and that is it. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a better job washing my hands, but just to get it in the oven, got 1 and 2. Now I just need to wait a good 10-15. So that last little bit, I don't know if it recorded or not, but anyways, I'm just kind of in a bit of a rush right now. So I might have to just let the person that I have a phone date with know that. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding some butter into my soup. And I'm new to the vegan cuisine. Usually I'll add dairy butter, or I've got bones to help give my broth a flavor. So I'm using Earth Balance, if you're wondering. Again, I'm not being endorsed by these companies, just sharing with you what I'm using. And I've got scallions chopped here, ready to top my soup. Salt and pepper, I'm gonna add that to my soup right now. Salt comes out nice and easy. The pepper is giving me a hard time. Whoop. And I always like to add more salt and pepper to my own personal bowl. Smells good. Smells tomatoey, smells earthy. And basically, as soon as the lentils are soft, the soup's ready. Which, they're pretty much soft now. My veggies, on the other hand, in the oven are not ready, but they're getting there. And if you were wondering what I'm drinking today, I'm drinking green tea by Lipton. This is the bottle actually from yesterday that I got ready. So it sat by my windowsill overnight. And then this morning I finished my water, and then I got this one by the windowsill. And this is like my water now that I have to drink. So cheers to staying hydrated and to the elementals, the earth, the air, fire, the water that we're made of and that sustain us. So it's starting to smell really good here. My soup, it's boiling, so I brought it down to a simmer. It's pretty much ready. Now it's time to just switch things around in here. So my peas, some of them are puffing up. Maybe I'll just put that right there. I'll just mix these around a little bit. And then what I do is, this was on the top shelf in the oven, so now I'm going to put it on the bottom shelf. And I also turned it around. Okay, so that is one. These are coming along. Not ready. Still need a good 10-15. These ones are a bit close to the edge. Oh, you can't even see me stirring it, missing all the action. Okay, there you go. Here's your action. And then I have a feeling that this is definitely going to need some more olive oil. Okay. Kind of look like cookies. The cheese is melting on the inside. I only like to turn things once. Just in the interest of time, I'm turning these a bit early. It's okay. It's still going to taste phenomenal. These are now going on the top shelf, and the veggie side is on the right. And these are, whoa, these are going on the bottom. And I let my phone date know that he's going to have to wait till 3:20. And just for what it's worth, we didn't actually confirm 3 o'clock. So I don't even know if we're talking at 3. But it sounded like we were going to. So anyways, that's exciting. What's going on in your life that's exciting? I also signed up for a course today. I signed up for Lynn Buchanan's controlled remote viewing course, which is something I've been wanting to do since COVID, actually. And there's lots of reasons why, but the main reason is I believe it's real. And like Lynn describes it, everybody has these abilities. It's just making the unfamiliar familiar. And given my, story coming out of the spiritual closet and whatnot, it's time to step into those shoes and really get to know myself. And the course is going to connect me with more soul tribe, and I'm really looking forward to that. There's a lot of things you can just click around the internet and learn on your own, but some things you require the consistent mentorship and training. And it's good to take something that has a concise beginning, middle, and end that somebody's already gone through. They've already made all the mistakes, and they can really help you zone in on your focus. I like doing a lot of self-study, but this is something where I actually want the mentorship. I want to learn the language. I struggle with memory recall, so that's the only thing I'm a bit intimidated about. But just like learning your multiplication table, I don't even know my multiplication table because it's not based on memory like this. I have to think about it and then I can figure it out. Some things like 5 times 5 is 25. I know that. But other things I'm like 8 times 7. I'm like my mind has to go 7 times 7 is 49 and then plus another 7 and then that's 7 8 times. So what does that equal? So anyways, I feel like with controlled remote viewing, I'm going to have a little cheat sheet. And everything is coming together and lining up because I'm also going to be taking the energy training medicine with Alberto Villoldo's 4 Winds. And so I wasn't planning on registering until the spring for the controlled remote viewing, but I was able to do it today. So things are lining up, if you will. And I was just thinking come on, universe. I'm trying to put this program together. I put it on hold, following the guidance and direction of the universe. It was hard for me to do that. But now I want to offer my program in late winter, early spring. I need to know my own personal growth and my own dates and whatnot, because Lynn's program and the 4 Winds, you get to meet weekly with people. And So anyways, like now I've been given some of that information, and so again, everything is flowing. So I hope things are flowing for you too. And that's not my cell phone, it's somebody else's cell phone. And I'm getting hungry. Can't wait to eat. Gonna be ready soon. Almost forgot to turn the camera on. So my food in the oven is ready. I just sliced one of the lentil biscuits in half. And I don't know about you, but folks that I live with, they like to leave all their cookie and muffin tins and whatnot in the oven. And then when I cook, it's just all this extra stuff around, you know. Anyways, rant over. So I'm going to get my soup ladle out. Well, thought I washed it from yesterday. I'll just use this in lieu. Intentionally after the broth here. Okay, and just so you can see me, I've got my onions. I'm just going to put a little bit because I want to put, I want to keep some for the picture that I'm going to take. And I want to say cookie. It looks like a shortbread cookie, but it's not. It's my biscuit leftover soup that I had. Transformation. And I want more Brussels sprouts than cauliflower. And the ones that were puffing, they've shrunk now with my peas here. Okay. Now it's my favorite part. Just put some salt and pepper on everything. And I'm a big spoon kind of girl. What kind of girl are you? So, all right. No time to clean as I go in this moment. Just going to go for it. Get the onion mixed in there a little bit. Soup is piping hot. Okay, I'll just give the soup a second there. Ooh, the texture was really nice when I sunk my fork into here. Mmm. And it's not like too overly steamy. It's the perfect temperature. I can eat it. Really, really tasty. The broccoli is really good. Mmm. I'm really glad that I roasted them instead of putting them in the soup. Mmm. Mmm. This here has some soup and lentils in it. Mmm. Tastes really good. This one has a little bit of the onion. Mmm. The little onion really adds an element to it. And this has some of the Brussels sprout leaves. Mm. That vegetable broth that I added really helped transform it into like a vegetable tasting soup, not so tomato dominated. Mm. That's very good. So, how do you eat these? Do you just kind of suck on them and take out the peas, or do you do like me and just eat the whole thing? Mm. Mm-mm-mm. These turned out better than I expected. This here, you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there is cheese inside. And the cheese, it did melt a bit. There it is, a little stringiness going on. With vegan cuisine, there's a serious lack of cheese. Cheese sticks to your teeth. It doesn't melt or have the stringiness to it. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that stringiness. And you really have to bake these soy sticks for them to melt, you know? Mm. Okay. My lentil biscuits kind of taste like bread. Um, Kind of like a cornbread that didn't turn out or something. um, I think these needed to bake longer. They needed to bake longer. That's my fault. But it does make for a nice little like mock bread to put in your soup. Mm. Hmm. Well, I better hurry up and snap that picture. So thank you so much for joining me today on Cooking with Gina. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Gina Virginia Casella. And I'd love for you to join my Facebook group, Dragon Dreams. Don't forget to pick up a copy of one of my books on Amazon.ca, Dragon Dreams. You can also get it on Kindle. And I'd love for you to sign up for one of my programs, which is in the making, and you can check that out on my website at ginavirginiacasella.com. Yep, that's what my website's called. Yesterday I told you it was a secret, but today I'm revealing it, and it's ginavirginiacasella.com. So there you have it. Thank you so much again for watching Cooking with Gina. We'll see you next time.